All right, and finally, Michael. What's everyone's relationship with Michael now?
Well, I roomed with him my sophomore year in college. That's kind of funny considering he backstabbed me a couple times. But it was enjoyable. I mean, he's a way different guy than he is in Survivor. In Survivor, he's a rat or snake, whichever one you prefer.
Snake,
both
rat.
of them probably.
Yeah.
But in person, he's a really good friend.
Michael's a good guy. I don't think he came off looking his best in this season. And I'll admit there were some hard feelings between us afterward, but we're still friends, and I do think he's a much better guy than he maybe comes off, or than we've portrayed him.
How do you three feel watching the show on YouTube, watching it come out over this past year? How do you feel maybe about how you're shown? Brett and Kyle definitely flying below the radar when it comes to episodes, due in part maybe to the way you guys do it. But Emily had a very much different experience with you being pretty much fan favorite throughout the whole thing. What's it like watching it back and getting the viewers' comments on YouTube?
I don't know how I'm the fan favorite. I was like, did I really sound like that? And say, like, I just sounded stupid. And I always say, I don't know. It was just, it's weird. I don't like it really.
I feel like I didn't play it for the viewers, so I'm not really concerned with what they think. But
it's okay.
Well, as I say that, my bitter self, it was never fan favorite.
In there,
but I honestly, I honestly felt like I was kind of boring. Because at first I was really hesitant to tell the camera like what's going on, because I didn't want like this to come out and oh my gosh, this person's not my friend anymore, and now we're mad at each other. And I was really like I was just so paranoid that they were going to overhear me talking to the camera, so I would speak really softly. And if I could go back, I would redo that. I would be maybe cattier. I don't know.
Do you like the show when you watch it?
Oh yeah.
It's a good show?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, everyone sign up, do it. Yeah, great show. Love Paul, great producer, editor.
I wish I had laid out my strategy a little better to the camera, because looking at some of the viewers' comments, I feel like I am just kind of like, riding on Emily's coattails, which I don't think was the case. But that's why I wish I had. Think what you
may. Whatever makes you feel better.
So yeah.
Right. Now, as we wrap up Survivor the Pryor Mountains, there are a bunch of new Montanans getting ready for season 2 of Survivor Lost Creek. What advice would you give to these? First of all, would you recommend that they do it? And number 2, what advice would you give to these newcomers to the game? Anyone want to jump in at this?
It was literally the worst experience of my life. So that's
really?
I hated every set. Like, the first day was, like, fun. I was freezing and couldn't sleep. Like, how is that enjoyable in any way? I didn't get to eat anything except for baguettes of bread, and you had to be subjected to your tribe. I thought, like, my hunger subsided once I didn't eat for a while, but then they wanted to eat, and you couldn't just be like, no, don't eat, even though you wanted to save it because you knew you were going to go far, because you had such a good alliance. Hogs. Just joking.
Wholeheartedly, I would say do it. It was a lot of fun, and it kind of shows you what you're made of, even though it's just 3 days. As far as strategy, I would say find someone you can trust. For me, that was Emily, and I could really felt like I could trust her. So that's what I would say.
Anything, Kyle?
Yep, I'd say definitely do it because it was definitely worth it. I mean, if you don't like camping and stuff, it probably wouldn't be that fun. But if you love camping, and even if you don't, it can still be fun.
The social.
Yeah, the social fun is, or the social aspect is really fun.
We could have done it with food. Sunscreen.
And as far as strategy goes, I would say same thing as Brent. You have to find somebody you trust. That's probably the most important thing. Number 2, you cannot be cocky because that almost cost them the game.
Yeah.
And number 3. You have to have fun too. You can't take it too seriously or else people will want you off. Simple as that.
Or you won't be friends with them afterwards.
Yeah.
Alright, well I want to thank all 3 of you along with all 16 of you for making Survivor the Pryor Mountains a great experience. I have one piece of something I've been holding on for 1 year to give to you, Mr. Kyle. I believe it's earned a spot on your wall or bedpost or whatever you want to do with that. Congratulations once again, Brent, on a game well played. Last question before we close out our program. Would you do it again?
Yes.
Are we still, like, I don't know.
You're still surviving, you're still eating pinto beans. Would you come back for another season?
I'd probably be voted out first. I mean, there's a flaw in the game anyway, because the fans on YouTube can't
Flaw is
vote,
that
so...
ball. That ball is the flaw. You got it in one. I had to take like 10 tries.
No, the flaw is the audience can't vote, and I'm better at participation games where the audience and those that are not around me constantly get to vote, so I would say no, I wouldn't, because Survivor's flawed.
Alright, Brent?
In a heartbeat, I'd do it again.
Alright, well, from all of us at Survivor the Pryor Mountains, try the spoken.
Are you gonna ask me a question?
Alright, how did what are your feelings about the last tribal council?
I don't know, I'm stuck with Brent now. For like freaking 20 minutes.
Well, why do you hate Brent so much?
Have you seen his ass? Seriously, when a guy has an ass nicer than mine, I'm not gonna like him. Clearly. And kind of smells bad. And he's strong. And he just is pretty ugly. Altogether ugly. Bad person. Horrible soul. I don't know why I've even remained friends with him. Like, I've tried to detach, and he keeps trying to do nice things to get me to be his friend again. And it's hard to say no, even though I have so many. It's just a dilemma. What do you do?
How are your feelings about the last tribal council?
Well, I'm surprised that Emily picked me because we're not really friends. And I expect to beat her. I'm going to be the sole survivor. She's kind of bitchy, and she really doesn't carry her weight. And, like, we're not even really friends. She just calls me sometimes, and I keep trying to break it off, but I don't know. She won't let it happen because I'm too awesome. And I think she's jealous of my ass. But maybe who wouldn't be, so.